Hi everyone, it's Cameron, the Dungeon Master for the Arbitrary Hero Waterdeep campaign, running Max's Mad Mythic Mercenaries through the streets of the City of Splendor with another recap. This will be the second part of a multi-section Waterdeep Dragon Heist Chapter 4 recap, as I'm running the Alexandrian remix, and that makes Chapter 4 pretty long, so I'm planning on doing multiple recaps to keep the length of each one more manageable. Having spent some time recovering from the bloodbath in Blue Alley, Sprocket the Gnome Artificer of the Order of the Gauntlet, Holly Rees Godelicately the Scion of Waterdavian Nobility, Friend of a Dragon, and Divination Wizard, Alu Dracar, Devotee of Eodon the Nascent Rat Baby God and Soul Knife Rogue, and Doom Raiding Zentarum, Roland Jatoro, the furriest fighter you ever did see in the Grey Hands, and Fen the Wood Elf, often mistaken for a drow, set off to investigate leads on the mysterious killer of Fen's wife, the murderous werewolf Bran Stonebridge. Fen's Bregan Dareth contact suggested that a house on Aveen Street was a location that Bran had been witnessed entering and leaving multiple times recently. The party moved in with a coordinated stakeout, Alu, Fen, and Roland casing the surrounding area to determine that multiple persons dressed in particular and peculiar uniforms were coming in and out even if there wasn't a sign of Bran directly yet. Alu, under the guise of one of these robed individuals, made her way into the house. She saw that this was a place of ceremony and deep, dark ritual. Many of these people were apparently Asmodeus acolytes and devil worshippers. Getting a partial tour of this house of infernal worship, Alu learned about the blood war between the devils and the demons in hell. Alu was brought to a handsome young man with striking features and red hair that was collecting gold for the Castellanter noble family. He identified himself as Bran Stonebridge, and then stabbed Alu. It seemed like something had given up Alu's identity, even if we don't know what it was at the time, and the cultists were ready to pounce on their precious pretty prey. Luckily, Alu is a perilous predator in her own right, and the rest of the team was well positioned to move in on a raid of the devilish domicile. Roland, Fen, Sprocket, and Holly charged in through the front door and made quick work of the cultists, devils, and magic, while Alu disengaged and repositioned to support the team. Fen managed to corner Bran, or so he thought, but the werewolf seemed to be able to hold his own against Fen and Roland, buying himself enough time to make an escape through the window of the house and load the gold onto a carriage to escape into the dark streets of Waterdeep. Despite her best efforts to follow Bran, Alu lost him in a crowd, but not before throwing a force feed and unfortunately killing a dozen or so innocent bystanders. Oops, oh no! The rest of the team locks down the Hell House and, finding a Hell Cyst in the basement and detecting that it had been used recently, they deduce that they may have let someone else slip out of here. They informed Force Grey to isolate the condo from the rest of the community. Having captured a single prisoner, Roland and Holly are able to pry some useful information from him, confirming the link between these particular devil worshippers and the Castellanters. Deciding to haul their prisoner to Blackstaff Tower, the party is reminded that the Force Grey headquarters is still mid-explosion. The Blackstaff Tower is experiencing an odd temporal anomaly, under a strange conflagration of magical energies. The weave that determines and controls magic throughout the prime material plane and universe has a knot in it near the Undermountain of Waterdeep and is reacting bizarrely with a magical ring discovered by the Blackstaff, Vajra Safar, who has cast a spell putting the resulting explosive energy in a stasis-like state to avoid killing the entirety of Waterdeep. Roland leads the party back up the tower to try and correct this issue, but as soon as Sprocket touches the ring, it pulses and the entire party gets sucked back in time. The party dusts themselves off and finds out they've traveled to the past from 1492 Dale Reckoning to 130 Dale Reckoning, and also been transported south to the ancient Shun Imperium. There, the party actually has a chance, well, to party. They mingle and hobnob with various dignitaries of the Imperium, meeting Emperor Amal Shun III and a mysterious wizard named Hilithar, as well as a sweet, baby-faced Artur Morland. That's right, the Baron of Blood is a cutie in 130 DR. During the party, Sprocket follows Hilithar Blackcloak back to his workspace, where it's revealed that Hilithar created the ring that sent everyone back in time. While trying to understand the nature of the ring and hide his futureness with Hilithar, Sprocket and the rest of the party are beset by assassins. It turns out this is the moment in time when Amal Shun IV ascends to the throne by killing his brother, the Emperor. But maybe Amal Shun III can escape in a secret emergency tunnel this time. Good thing he has a spell scroll of arcane lock to close the hatch behind him, and Alu definitely didn't swipe that earlier in the party, no way. While fighting off the guards and regrouping with Hilithar and Artur Morlun, the party finds themselves once again thrust forward in time to Waterdeep proper. Almost. The group actually find themselves in Nimor's Hold, the precursor settlement before Waterdeep was called Waterdeep. They also find out this is the year 940 Dale Reckoning, the first year of the Second Troll Wars. In fact, these are the very first days of the Second Troll Wars, and the trolls are coming! The trolls are coming! With little time to understand exactly why they brought to this particular time, the party is approached by Acheron, the first open lord of Waterdeep. However, this is a babyface Acheron, and he needs help in order to protect Nimor's Hold from the troll invasion. Acheron shares a plan to leverage the wards of his instructor Halaster Blackcloak. Could this be some sort of descendant of Hilithar Blackcloak? The party sets out to find 5 of the wards Halaster hid throughout Nimor's Hold and the surrounding area. They fight trolls, tune wards, and eventually make their way to the top of Mount Waterdeep, where they find Acheron using the tuned wards to cast a large spell in order to prevent the spread of fire by the troll and orc armies from consuming Nimor's Hold. Fighting alongside Alu is an older, now vampiric Artur Morlun, with Fen and Roland accompanied by some of the other allies made while tuning wards. A massive army of trolls is climbing its way up the mountain, and the party has to protect Acheron while he's channeling his magic. Holly throws fire while the rest of the party slices and dices as best as possible. It seems that the troll horde is about to overrun our heroes and their allies when Halaster Blackcloak appears. It turns out the Archmage is in fact Hilithar. He's been alive this whole time, and he wields massive magical energy to reinforce Acheron's defense of Nimor Hold, defeat the remaining trolls in this battle, and then flies off to another plane of existence to like bang a dragon or something. After the battle, Sprocket meets back up with Acheron and realizes that he currently has the Weave Ring. These 2 instances of the ring now resonate once again and send our heroes forward in time one last time. Well, second one last time. After they regain their bearings, our heroes find themselves in 1035 Dale Reckoning, meeting with an older, but not that much older, Acheron, surprisingly. They are soon visited by Artur Morlun, who reveals there are other vampires somewhere in the city. He seems to be wearing the Ring of the Weave and hires the party to flesh out information about the vampires. Digging into the noble families that are rumored to be vampires reveal that they're actually mostly just fanboys and fangirls. The party gets distracted in their investigation, and they actually end up never concluding it. But they get distracted when one of the rumored vampire fans turns out to be very knowledgeable about the Weave, and they follow this particular cultist out to a tree that has been blessed by Halaster Blackcloak to be a living embodiment of the Weave. Learning that the cultists were taking people and turning them into living magical items, Holly quickly burned down the entire cult with a well-placed fireball, as well as this magical tree. It was at this point that a niggling memory that had been rattling around in the back of her head finally revealed itself due to some very poor rolls earlier. Oh yeah! Her father died due to an illness that would have been cured by the roots of this very tree. Some very poor rolls later, and the tree burned up in its entirety with nothing able to be saved, meaning that Holly actually inadvertently killed her own dad. Woo! The destruction of the tree finally brought the party back to the present. It seems whatever the not issue was associated with that and the position of the ring throughout the timeline. The explosion at Blackstaff's tower, in fact, had never happened. The party has this mysterious ring now, but no one remembers that they were even helping out. They at least are still members of Force Grave, even if the Blackstaff was a little awkward about them just manifesting in her office. Sprocket pockets the ring, but not before Holly touches it, getting one more flash of the future in her mind. Apparently this ring is the 3rd key to the Vault of Dragons, the rest of the vision still being hazy, but suggesting there is a traitor in the party. That's it for this recap. We're all caught up with the current arc of the game. Catch you all in a few months for the next recap of Max's Mad Mythic Mercenaries plays Waterdeep Dragon Heist, while we go back to our regularly programmed campaign, and we're going to get after some of those Eyes of Galore. Thanks, everybody!